Maybe you need to buy a Labubu to make yourself feel better because of the disappointment.
I do. I need that
creative
hit, you know, for those serotonin.
Woody Show.
Menace has an original game for us.
Yes.
That we're going to play this hour. It's called Will They Know It?
Oh.
Yeah. You've never heard anything like
Nothing like it before.
Never.
Yeah.
No, it's completely new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will they know it?
Will they know it?
I don't have to know it, but I know will they know it.
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's a cool twist.
You're getting it, Seabass.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm following.
I like that angle.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And you were at a gaming convention, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In Dallas.
Okay. So Will They Know It? That's coming up. Dude, you see the story? The two guys arrested, they started fighting over Pokemon cards at this GameStop near San Francisco.
First time.
Yep.
So the guy, I guess, cut the line for the cards, and they got called out for it. And so one of the guys grabbed the jar, smashed it on the head of another guy, one of the guys who called him out. Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
It's serious business,
Grown-ass
man.
adults. The second guy then grabbed pieces of the broken glass and started stabbing the victim with it
My God.
before both men decided to try to get away. Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
The victim was able to get some photos of the license plates, which helped the cops find them and arrest them. And, they're facing all kinds of charges.
What are you shocked by here?
Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
That's what I'm shocked
They're
by.
collectibles,
crazy.
right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
worth money.
Investment in your future.
That's one of the things that Seabass, we were talking about, like when Seabass goes to one of these types of conventions, and the last question after we find out about, who they are and why they're here and the kind of stuff they bought, the last question will be, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Exactly.
These machines have caused a big problem because there's no limit on the machines. And so camping out at the machine becomes as you can see in this story.
And time well spent.
Yeah.
Well, worth it? Well, but it's worth money. You're still a loser.
Yeah, there are other things worth money.
Labubus are super
losers.
popular.
Yep.
They've invaded my home.
It's another thing. Like, I get it for kids. If my
the next
daughter
wave.
wants a Labubu, I get that.
Yeah,
She's a 13-year-old girl.
It started with adults, and now it's trickled down to kids. So it's like the reverse. It's usually kids
in public,
then to adults, but now it's adults.
Yeah,
Ugh.
which is even more concerning.
And my kid has a stupid Labubu and always begs me when I wear like my backpack or something, oh, please dangle it from your backpack. I go, under no circumstances am I putting this on
Why not?
me.
I don't think
you want to
say
be
that.
cool?
Yeah.
No, I
I
would
don't
look
believe
like
that
an
Gina
idiot.
says that.
But you're so
Yeah,
in.
Ask him. I just had this argument. I go, there is no way. I have the stupid I have the amazing Jigglypuff
See?
Pokemon keychain
This
he
is
gave
why I
me.
say I don't necessarily believe that's how you
I
set it up.
have the little keychain from Kura Sushi.
Look, you sent
But I draw the line at the Labubu on my backpack.
Why?
You sent him to theater camp. You deserve all this.
But also, they don't really say no a lot. Like, Gina's the first person to say yes. Oh, yeah.
It
True.
depends. I pick my battles. The overarching stuff, I'm like the prison warden, but the little stuff I give in.
Well, people going crazy for the Labubus. You can have your opinion one way or the other on that. But there's a lot of fakes out there
Lafufus.
from people trying to make a quick buck. And authorities in Scotland, they seized over 370 fake Labubus.
Whoa.
Thank God.
But the twist is that unlike the normal Labubu, these fakes present a dangerous choking hazard.
Oh no!
They're failing the safety tests.
You eating your Labubu?
And they're asking all retailers to stop selling them unless they're the real Labubus.
Okay. Well, and they're a
Anything
pain in
can
the
be
ass.
a choking hazard.
They do all this false scarcity. Oh, the limited time, and then you have to order it online and go pick it up at the store.
Yeah, we
Like
went
an
through
idiot.
this with Beanie Babies.
Yeah,
and things like
the
that.
collector's
It'll be the-
mentality.
It'll be the next thing.
Stanley
See,
mugs.
Yeah.
The difference is, you remember Cabbage Patch. We'll use Cabbage Patch Kids.
I have many Cabbage Patch
Better
Kids.
yet, let's go something even more recent. Tickle Me Elmo. That was a long time ago.
I had one.
Okay, so the Tickle Me Elmo craze, right?
Yep.
People were freaking out. They could not get it. The difference is it wasn't adults lining up to get one for themselves.
Yeah.
True.
To then sell it online to other
They
adults.
were going crazy and fighting other adults because they were trying to get it for their
Or the
kid.
child.
Yeah,
Right.
Furbies back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't adults beating each other up and stabbing each other with glass
Right.
over
Because
having one for
I
themselves.
know.
well, the reason it started with with adults because adults use it as fashion accessories too, like their purses or those wear them on their belts and stuff.
But Greg,
like that.
I mean, you are a fashion fan,
Yeah.
right?
How
Like,
many
and
Labubus
also
do
a
you
fan
have?
of aesthetics, right?
Yes.
Like how things will look.
Yes, and they look.
You have a lot of rules.
Pathetic.
Okay, so as a grown person to have as a fashion accessory,
it's not fashion.
is it acceptable? Is my
No,
question
of
for you.
course not.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we're talking about a level of fashion of people with Birkin bags. Like,
Now, what's the psychological profile of the person that we're talking about that uses it in that way, Menace?
on the
Mentally, how old are they?
like
They might have an adult job, and they split the rent with a roommate somewhere, and
it started off with like probably people in their 30s, late 20s.
And what do they do for a living? Tell me about these people.
The people I'm talking about the people with the Birkin bags. The Birkin bags.
Now, let's go with Labubu. A Labubu adult.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Labubu people like Balenciaga or whatever. Balenciaga. We're talking about like super high end stuff, and then it trickled down to
the person
normies.
Yeah,
I think what he's asking is the person who the first time you saw Labubu out in the wild, it wasn't on a person with a $10,000 bag.
Yeah,
correct.
So it was probably somebody in their 30s, and it was actually males too. They're wearing on their belts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, what do they do for a living? Right,
It's everybody.
Like if we're gonna do like
okay, I'll
not
answer
everybody.
this.
It is
I'll
not
answer
everybody.
this.
In your circle of people.
No.
I'm going to answer this.
Because I've still never seen one in the wild.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
I see.
everywhere.
There's people in the office that have them.
Losers.
on their stuff.
PR, graphic design, like hipster jobs.
Okay, so you know they do
that's
FBI.
what I think.
Absolutely not.
You know they do-
Absolutely not.
You know they do
No.
FBI profiles
I
on.
would, so
bank
if it's not
robbers
that,
or-
who is it?
Everyday like blue collar worker.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You
That's
mean
what
the
I've
guy
seen as well.
about that?
Yes.
with a thermos full of coffee at a construction site has a Labubu on his lunchbox.
Not all of them.
That's what blue
but-
collar is, Menace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's the wrong
The
thing.
guy
But
who
not
puts a
color.
cone
But not
behind his
nation-
van when he
it's-
pulls over somewhere. He's got a
it's-
Labubu hanging from his work belt.
It's very regional.
Regional. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, regional and
I'm trying to
United
figure-
States. Yeah.
I'll tell you the people I've seen. It is fat office worker. It is the medical billing specialist. It is middle class. Arrested
That's why I'm-
Development.
Adults still
I
the
know-
dinosaurs.
I
Yeah.
picture the woman who has like multiple keychains, and one of
Yes.
them is Labubu, or the woman who likes really
Well-
brightly colored things.
Yes.
When I
The
say-
sparkly steering plate cover.
What do you
Yes.
say?
and the fake diamond
Now we're
license
getting
plate
somewhere.
Oh,
frame.
like rhinestone
Now we're getting
bedazzled.
somewhere.
Seabass
Yeah.
says middle class. I say like blue collar. You know, that's why
Blue
that's-
collar.
Not
Those
the
two
same
different
thing.
things.
That's an
Those are-
electrician, Menace.
Yeah,
One's like
those
an
are
office
different. Those
worker.
are you're talking about
one's
different things.
like a trades worker.
Middle class.
Yeah.
That's different things.
Well, trades. I've seen trades workers with them as well.
Yeah, I have seen that as well.
You have.
Yeah.
Yes. hmm
Yes.
What trade?
A
What?
plumber
What
with
trade?
a
Yeah.
Labubu.
I don't know, but you can just tell.
I don't know.
Does that make sense?
I don't know.
They're wearing like
No, you
dickies.
haven't.
They have tattoos.
Okay, when you go through the contractor door at the Home Depot,
They're setting up like
you know where the workers go during the day to get like that last
their
minute thing. They're on,
supplies.
yeah, they're on a job and
those people definitely people within their family have those.
Well, yeah,
their family, like their kids,
Yeah,
or their
family,
or their wife who does
or
medical
somebody.
billing.
Yeah, but there's like they're setting up like tattoo stations for the Labubus. You know, you're telling me.
But that's like
That's not blue
That's
collar.
that's not that's
Walk into
different.
any Valvoline, see how many Labubus you see.
I'm sorry. It's just like all different types of people. If you go and
Mine's a
watch
bigger-
the videos of the lines of people that are
Let me see this.
like looking for this stuff,
It's a good.
it's all types of people. From,
Okay, so when I saw the furry convention was in Pittsburgh while I was there, and the people when they had their not hats, but
little masks.
what are they called? Like the
heads.
head of their
Yeah.
mascot
Yeah.
with the heads off. Everybody kind of looked like they were cut from the same cloth.
I'll
There was
tell you-
there was definitely a profile. There was definitely like a lot of
Yes.
commonality
An
and
overarching look.
yes, and
for
personality
For
and just like
furries, it is early
Yes.
20s, autistic, and
Yeah.
mostly
Okay.
gay.
So
I mean
Now-
he's not being a dick.
I'm not being a dick. I'm not being a dick.
That's
Right,
probably
I mean-
true.
I'm not being a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
There
guess
is a
but
grouping.
in different regions, like okay, so I was in Milan, right? In Milan, they had a Pop Mart where you buy Labubus, and it was a certain demographic. It looked like middle-aged soccer moms that are all lined up there. But if you go somewhere like, if you go to the Dallas Pop Mart, you're gonna see a whole different type of person like trying to get a Labubu
Pull it
there.
up. There's a video of a line of a Labubu. This is in Chicago. This is a Labubu line.
Yeah.
They're opening a Pop Mart, and it is A lot
Yeah.
of pink fleece blankets. It's a lot of like
Okay.
women in their early 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, my question. You can look. You can buy. You can do whatever you want. I'm just trying. I'm honestly curious about it.
Yeah.
There definitely seems to have been a big swing over the last, say, 15 years to adults almost reverting back to childlike behavior in some ways.
100%.
And like, so my questions are, number one, what is that based in? Like, is that because of like was there like
Is it because we're overstressed? Or,
yeah, they can't deal with adulthood, so this is the way to kind of stay, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what,
Well,
like,
nostalgia.
yeah, like somebody said that my mom had a TV thrown at her on Black Friday trying to get a Tickle Me Elmo for my younger brother in '98.
But also, I also got a
Like-
text right here going to what we're saying. 626. I'm an elevator mechanic, and I have a Labubu hanging from my lunch bag. Like I'm telling
Did
you.
your daughter
But then
get it to
another
you?
guy says, "I'm an electrician. No Labubus on site here."
Yeah, take a look around, fellas.
Okay. But again,
But we're
it's
not
just
saying
not
it's
like
everywhere.
a blanket
It's just,
statement.
yeah, there's a bunch of different people.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Hi. So Catherine's a Labubu person. And how old are you, Catherine?
32.
32. And what do you do for a living?
I just graduated residency. I'm a family medicine physician.
Family medicine physician. Okay.
Oh,
so okay. All right. All right.
Okay, why?
Like
And you're
pediatrician?
a Labubu fan?
Like with
No, newborns to geriatric, so general primary care.
Okay, general primary care.
practitioner.
And so you became a Labubu person. Like, what was it about the Labubu thing that drew you in?
So I don't want to be a downer, but my husband unexpectedly died in January, and it's just been a grief coping mechanism, and I've collected 9 in the last 6 months.
I'll give you a break.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
cope with death
Sure.
and things and trauma in all kinds of different ways. See, that I can at least, that I would understand more.
Kind of gave you
Right.
a distraction, a hobby.
I do
Yes.
stand by that it is a mental illness. Like, I'm not well.
Yeah, that's,
I'm not well.
Yeah.
I love
I
her.
didn't want to say that, but thank you.
Well,
But
she's a physician. She can diagnose herself, guys.
True.
Again, 6 months from now,
Yeah.
it's going to be a different thing that
Well,
people are
that's
collecting.
been
Yeah,
our
of course,
point.
that's all it is.
Well, it's consumerism. But I think Woody raises a better question about this infantilism of adults, which has been progressing rapidly. And a lot of people say it's because we aren't having kids young anymore. And so we have these urges to be around kids and especially women to care for kids. But because we aren't having nearly as many kids as we used to, it's expressing itself.
We're
in-
becoming our own kid.
Catherine,
Exactly. Yeah.
Catherine,
And
do you
that's why we
have
the little-
kids?
Was that?
I'm asking Catherine. Catherine, do you have kids?
No, but we were planning on trying soon.
Okay, but no
But
kids.
I don't think it's because I'm infantilizing myself. I think they're just dorky and stupid, and I want one.
What other, let me ask you a question. What other stuff are you into? Like, what are your other? Are you like kind of like
Oh,
comic book stuff?
I'm like well read. I'm a philosophy major. I'm a hiker. I'm a fisher. I like fashion. I like dancing. I'm
Okay.
a pretty normal girl.
Okay.
You're a catch.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, Catherine, thank you for the call. Really sorry to hear about your husband. That sucks. And sorry, and I hope you're doing okay. And it sounds like you're definitely taking care of yourself. You're a doctor. You know what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Guys, I've been listening to you since I was pre-med and then college and then med school and now through residency. So thank you guys for taking care of me all these years.
Well, thank you,
Hey.
Catherine. Hang in there, and we love you. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate it.
All I heard was, hey, everyone in this room could be a doctor by now.
Yeah, we could all have been doctors.
Coulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. All right, Catherine. Thank you. We got to take a quick break, and then Menace has his original game.
Yes.
Will they know it?
Will
You've
they
never
know
heard this
it?
before.
Uh-uh.
This is
No,
gonna be new
he's
for
gonna have to
everybody.
explain it.
That's next. Hang on.
The Woody Show.
All right, I really want to take this call. I apologize. Dr. Newman is on the line.
Ooh.
And she's a doctor of psychology
Oh.
and can explain
artist.
the, quote, mental disorder behind Labubus. We were just kind of asking, like, what is the thing about, and not just Labubus, but, I mean, you get a lot of this stuff where it's like you get
Everything.
these
Yeah, well,
adults, and not even young adults, mid-30s, mid-40s, even older, like,
Well, look at
reverting.
Legos. Massive
Reverting.
right now.
Now,
Yeah.
all right, so Dr. Newman, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hi.
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing
Good.
great. All right, so give us a quick explanation what your take is, like the mental disorder behind Labubus.
Okay, definitely not a mental disorder because once I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the hype behind this? My best friend Stephanie told me about the Labubu, and I was like, I gotta kind of sit there and figure out why are 30-year-olds buying these things? I just didn't get it. But I was thinking about the time and like the socio-political climate that we're in, and what is happening, I think, is with how we are basically in a recession and not necessarily calling it a recession. We're looking for little bits of dopamine and serotonin to bring us a little bit of joy and sense of control. It's very simple. It's this. It kind of reminds me of when we were teenagers. Do you guys remember Happy Bunny?
No.
I gotta look that
I
up.
don't.
Oh, you guys don't remember Happy Bunny? Okay.
How old are you?
There were these. Me, I'm 31.
31. All right, maybe you're because we're.
Yeah, it doesn't look familiar.
Greg's like ancient.
Oh, it looks familiar to me now.
I'm 48.
Also,
Yeah.
what she's talking about, real quick, I'm going to jump in when she's talking about like in economic times. When it comes to pop music actually becomes faster, happier, louder. And then when times are good, we're not going through those struggles. It kind of like gets slower. Like they see that with music as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And so basically right now, I think that with elements of disposable income, I think you guys said earlier that now we're having kids at a different age. Yes, but we also have little bits of disposable income that give us that control of almost like I picture like going to Home Goods and then finding that thing that makes us happy. It's the same distraction.
Oh, great.
Ultimately, I think that the Labubus are a
now.
distraction.
It's like a hunt, kind of.
But
Like the
let's
hunt
talk
is the
about
distraction.
lamps.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So it's kind of like hitting on our way to, like, as a coping skill as a society, I think, distract ourselves. And I think that the person that whoever invented these, good for them. All the power to them. Love that for them.
They're billionaires now.
Because
I think
Greg and I
it's a
talk
really
about
interesting phenomenon.
Yeah, Greg and I talk about it all the time. Like, we just need to come up with something really dumb.
Really stupid.
Like, the dumber the better. Because the dumber it is, the cheaper it will be the manufacturer.
People
Right.
fall for everything.
It doesn't have to be something fancy and complicated and technical.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, the dumber the better.
And the money just
Yeah,
piles
what's
on.
something that you guys? What are some of the things that you're like? I can't believe that this is something that I spent money on, but it brought me joy.
All of it. Like the Lego things that I've been doing lately.
I hate that buy me joy excuse. That's the cop out.
What do you mean?
For it's like, well, if it's like heroin brings me joy, but I know I shouldn't. But
Well, it's
Is that
a
an extreme
sedative.
example, though? Because this is not unhealthy.
Well,
like buying, the little thing is
It's
not unhealthy.
maladaptive. No, it's maladaptive if you're spending money on it and you don't have the money up for it, because that is a maladaptive, unsophisticated coping skill in that regard.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
All right,
a
that makes
sedative.
I don't think it's an outlandish example, the heroin, because the point is, if it brought you joy, it's okay.
who cares if it's a waste of money and trash?
Well, but it's
Right.
not ruining your life to buy one Labubu.
But
It might be bankrupting you.
yeah,
But that's what she said. If you don't have the money for it, then yes, that's
Then,
a
yeah,
problem.
that's a problem.
Well, and you probably have heard this phrase. It's quote unquote little treat culture that we're in. Like, I just want to buy myself a little treat. I deserve a little treat.
But you don't. You don't deserve it.
Right. There's the Labubu is the
Yeah, says
little
you.
treat.
I'm just saying, like,
We all buy stuff that,
that makes them happy.
Right.
some of the stuff that you bring into the office, Seabass, like, dude, where did you even find that? Like,
Flamethrowers.
Oh, yeah, that's called entertainment.
Right. Seabass, you can't disagree that people buy stuff to make themselves happy.
Right.
Retail-
Life is
retail
hard.
therapy.
I
Like,
can
exactly.
agree with you. They
Retail
don't.
therapy.
They don't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that excuse is kind of a blanket that a paintbrush they paint it with, and then okay, well, I can't call it stupid anymore because it made you happy.
Now, Dr. Newman,
Exactly.
look, if you want $1 billion idea, I think I mentioned this when I was in Pittsburgh and they had the furry convention. Just hang out in front of the two main hotels. You would have so many people to talk to, so many patients. You could set up like a kissing booth or whatever.
Yes.
You could just set up like a little booth and you would make $1 trillion.
Yeah.
These people are broken.
They need you.
Why am I this way?
Yeah, that's
You know what? I've definitely met some of them, and they're far from it. They've found something so adaptive that works for them that doesn't harm other people and still brings like love and community and connection. But ultimately, the whole Labubu thing, I really think that it's that we are so needing. I think this millennial generation, we're looking for little hits of dopamine and serotonin
you're
in
losing
these
me there.
places, and we can buy it.
Well, that's what that means. When you buy something, you get really into your Lego. But that's what that is. That's
overstorm use of dopamine and
Well, she's
serotonin.
a
that's the
doctor.
technical.
The clinical.
Yeah,
That's technically what's happening.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
very
saying her,
pop
but every
psychology.
Like hers is
She's
not.
a psychologist.
But it's still actual
Yeah.
psychology.
For when
But
Dr.
every dumb
Newman is
idiot out
saying
there
it,
that's not.
it's not the
A
influencer.
psychologist loves using that to sound smart.
And it's like we haven't had video games our entire lives. We've had these quote hits of dopamine and serotonin our entire lives.
This is the new one.
Right.
So it's not like this is like not like we need it. They're everywhere
It's
all the time.
novelty, and then there's the novelty effect. You're totally right.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Newman, thank you. Appreciate it. I really wanted to hear what you had to say, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us this morning. Have yourself a great morning.
You guys as well. Take care.
All right, it's
Thank
like
you.
bye,
Thanks.
you know?
Bye.
All right, there's Dr. Newman, everybody. All right, now we got to take a break. Dennis, can we... I hate to do that. I hate to Matt Damon you.
Oh.
Can we bump you to tomorrow? Or
I
can we
guess
bump you
if
to later?
want to.
Will he
I
be
don't
here
care.
then?
Huh?
Yeah.
Will he be here then?
I gotta go buy the Labubus.
Yeah.
You gotta fly him along.
need that
to get
dopamine.
No,
Lulu's.
because
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing. I'm looking at the time. I don't want to rush through your. I mean, this is the first time ever you've
the
heard this
original
game,
game.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're going to have to take it slow.
We have to guess if the person knows it.
right? And I
Yeah.
don't want. And you did all the work where you
Yeah.
were out of this thing and you
Yeah.
got the people and you have the clips and
I don't
everything.
want to half-ass it.
Yeah.
I don't want to like just rush through. Is that okay?
I mean, that's fine.
I
With
know. I
me.
promised.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to buy a Labubu to make yourself feel better because of
Yeah.
the disappointment.
I do. I need that
Coping
Creative
dopamine
mechanism.
hit. For those serotonin.
Dr. Newman lost me at furry, says a 661.
Lost me at
Well,
dopamine.
that's the thing. It's like Seabass. She said it's all about community, so that would make the Juggalos a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Well, but she said they're not harming anybody, and don't the Juggalos?
Well, the
The
Juggalos
Juggalos
just-
just harm themselves.
I mean, is there harm?
there's a whole.
Is there harm in showing other people your butthole?
No, boofing
And
something.
Is there harm in stealing from your fellow juggalo? Oh, I guess there is. Yeah. Whoops.
Is it just because people die in their tents of drug overdoses
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
festival? I mean,
Yeah, what's the harm?
Is it wrong to bathe in a lake? I don't think so.
at a clown
That's
festival?
the one that gets him.
Is it wrong to have dirty darts thrown into your skin?
Not when you're asking for
They're
it.
then shared between people, so sharing needles.
All right. So much understanding.
Yes, we're getting somewhere.
Attempted understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense
It's
though.
curiosity.
No one
That's-
has to agree
that's how
or be
you
on
learn.
board. This is not to get everybody's on board or off board or what. I'm legitimately curious. I
Yeah.
wonder when I see some of this stuff. I go,
Yeah, you
how
can
did that happen?
plaster your walls in Labubu if you want.
Yeah. So had a random thought. I was walking down to the bathroom to take a leak.
Oh, goody.
So now as we were talking about, people find ways to
Give themselves
get
joy.
more childlike.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas it's a departure. Like whatever happened, like and to be cool, it's cool. It's cool to be like,
To embrace that?
do things that are childish,
Right.
Yeah.
like the Labubas or whatever, right? You know what used to be cool? Smoking
Oh,
yeah.
The coolest.
and drinking. You know when you would like take beers out of your parents' fridge or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like you would adult up. It was the
Yes.
opposite. Like you were doing things that were considered adult.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, drinking, smoking, partying.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
Go down to the creek
But
and
I
have
think-
beers.
Everyone has figured out being an adult kind of sucks.
Yeah.
but
you
not
know,
drinking
like-
and smoking because that's super cool, right, Greg?
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
pinnacle of cool.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, like not only the Labubus going backwards, but like I don't know if you guys have seen this or if you're targeted, but with TikTok and Instagram, the way these kids talk, it's like they want to be like, I is small. And I'm like, ugh, like
yeah,
they're like
that's- yeah, it's
babies.
weird.
And they
I've-
do this
yeah.
little like, oh.
All right, so equally as questionable, and this is not nothing to do with toys or stuffed animals
Okay.
or things like that. So you had mentioned Balenciaga. I did see something about Balenciaga because people are giving them some crap because they've teamed up with Puma
All right.
and they're making a shoe that looks like it's been run over by a car.
Yeah, they make things look
And-
crappier and crappier.
They're like
Yeah.
$700
Yeah.
to get these shoes that look like they've been run over by a car.
Been a thing.
I gotta see.
Yeah.
It
Like,
says they got the Speed Cat sneaker from the 90s,
mhm.
peeled off the Puma label, destroyed the shoe, and then put it on their website, $685.
Oh my God.
Now, the original Speed Cat shoe was $100.
This
These
looks
are
like-
these are $700. And the only difference really is it looks like they just ran it over.
It looks like they found it in a trash can.
Right.
Yeah, and the distressed look, old
Yeah.
ragged look, like with the
dirty look.
Distressed.
Yeah.
Stressed.
Yeah, with the golden goose. That
Yep. They've
that's
been
big.
very popular, and those are like $600.
I saw
Yeah.
Stupid.
recently there were some jeans that they were selling, and the whole pitch was it looked like they were muddy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe that.
pre-mudded.
Yeah, but so they were kind of like ratted up, like torn and whatever, but it looked like there was dried mud
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
on
They,
them.
they have Gucci shoes that look mega dirty.
Yeah.
Oh my
They had
God.
that bracelet that
So
looked like a
cool.
roll of duct tape.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, wasn't that?
Look,
Oh,
we could
yeah.
sit here and
Yeah,
love
yeah.
these things for the 50th
Yeah.
time, or we could get on the boat and make our own and make $1 billion.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So it's not that hard.
they also
Yeah.
do match a lot of things. If you, I mean,
The
when it
muddy
comes to,
jeans?
well, the sneakers, like dirty sneakers, match a lot of stuff for some reason.
But if I'm just wearing like an older pair of dirty sneakers,
Isn't that good enough?
that's
Yeah.
not cool.
No, I don't think the coloring's right. Like the coloring on the pre-made looking dirty ones, something about it just makes them match everything.
Also, do you know what's the old people thing is keeping your shoes like super nice? Like
It used to be that.
I support
yeah,
this.
you're like
The
you
guys
would
at the
want-
mall, the kiosks, they
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you walk
Yeah.
by and think, oh, we can clean them
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad
like
boys up.
if you got your your new pair of Jordans, which
Yeah.
you are an old head now if you wear Jordans, but like you would want to keep them like crispy clean.
Yeah.
But now like
so
with the-
fresh, so clean.
yeah, with the younger generation, no, you want to like
Yeah.
tear them up.
877-44-Woody. Send us a text over to 22987. So when people complain about how they don't have any money,
That's the
like you have
thing.
$700 for, run over shoes and
Yeah.
Even if it's
I don't
35
think it's
bucks
the
for a
same
Labubu.
people.
No, I'm saying, but 35 bucks for a Labubu. Everybody's broke,
Yep.
but people seem
Ask
to have
yourself
money
why.
for it. Yeah. All right, more Woody shows coming up.